When you're facing a legal problem, it can be incredibly stressful. I mean, it's isolating. Whether it's a fight over your property or you're dealing with a fallout from an accident, trying to figure out the legal system on your own can feel, well, just overwhelming. In this explainer, we're going to break down how one firm is aiming to be your guide through all of that complexity.
So does this sound familiar? Maybe you're lying awake at night worried about a clash with your HOA. Or maybe you're trying to recover from a car crash, dealing with the bills and the pain. It could even be something for the future, like trying to get your estate in order. These aren't small things, right? They're the issues that affect the most important parts of your life.
But here's what you absolutely have to remember. In these moments, you are not powerless. Not at all. There are things you can do, and there are people who can stand right there with you, giving you the strength and the expert guidance you need when it counts the most.
So, who are these people ready to step in? Let's talk about the Gaines Law Firm. It's what you'd call a boutique, client-focused firm, and it's run by managing attorney Tayson Gaines. Their entire philosophy, really, is about being more than just your lawyer. It's about becoming your dedicated partner.
They're based in North Palm Beach, Florida, and what they promise is something very simple but very powerful: tenacious representation that you can actually trust. It's all about being that reliable advocate you can lean on when you're navigating these really complicated, really personal legal battles. This really gets to the core of it. See, the focus isn't just on going through the motions of the legal process. It's an unwavering commitment to getting good results. So what does that actually look like day to day? Let's start with one of the most stressful areas for anyone: your own property. All right, first up, protecting what is, for most of us, our single biggest asset: our home and our property. Florida real estate law, wow, it can be a maze. And that's exactly where a firm like this steps in to help you navigate it and protect what you've worked so hard for. And they cover a lot of ground here. We're talking everything from those incredibly frustrating fights with your HOA over contracts and liens, all the way to really complex stuff like partition actions. That's when you have to legally split up a property between co-owners. They even get into things you might not think about, like making claims for mold damage. They also help make sense of these intimidating legal terms, like you see quiet title action, and it sounds heavy, right? But really, it's just a powerful legal move to settle once and for all who truly owns a piece of property. The whole point is to quiet any other challenges and give the real owner a clean, clear title. Simple as that. And then there's foreclosure. I mean, it's hard to think of something more stressful for a homeowner. In Florida, the lender has to sue you to foreclose, but that absolutely does not mean you're out of options. It's a fight for your home, and this firm has a specific game plan for it. Their whole playbook for foreclosure defense is proactive. They don't just sit back and wait. They start by digging in, looking for any mistakes the lender might have made. From there, they'll challenge any shady lending practices, and they'll get on the phone to negotiate things like loan modifications. Every single step is laser-focused on one thing: finding a way to keep you in your home. Okay, so that's property. But what happens when it's not about your assets, but about your actual well-being? Let's shift gears to another huge part of what they do: fighting for a client's recovery after a personal injury. Here, the mission changes from protecting property to helping people put their lives back together. This means they're in the trenches, fighting for victims of car and truck accidents, slip and falls, and even the most heartbreaking cases imaginable, like wrongful death or severe brain injuries. No matter the situation, the goal is always the same: make the responsible parties answer for the harm they've caused. And their message on this is so direct, so empowering. A serious injury doesn't just affect your body, it affects your job, your family, your whole life. Their job is to go after the absolute maximum compensation you're entitled to make sure you don't get taken advantage of when you're at your most vulnerable. So we've talked about the philosophy and the approach. But talk is cheap, right? What about the results? Let's look at the proof, because that's where you really see how this all comes together for their clients. Just look at this. It's incredible. Here's a real-world case. A client gets an initial offer for $100,000. After the Gaines law firm gets involved, they recovered $950,000. That isn't just a better number. For most people, that's a life-changing result. And that huge win? It's not a fluke. Across all their cases, the firm has secured over $1 million for their clients. A number like that tells a story. It speaks to a consistent track record of fighting hard and, more importantly, winning what people truly deserve. But numbers are just one part of it. Listen to this from a client named Das Daniel. They talk about the great results, sure, but notice what they really emphasize. Having an attorney who gets that a case isn't just a file, it affects your actual life. That's huge. And then you see this from another client, Tori Alston, highlighting totally different things, being professional, timely, meticulous. You start to see the pattern, right? It's this blend of empathy and sharp, detailed legal work. It shows that the big results are built on a foundation of a really great client experience. So if any of what we've talked about is hitting close to home for you, the good news is that taking that first step to get some help is really simple and not intimidating at all. It all kicks off with a free 15-minute consultation. This is your chance to talk about what's going on, to see what your options might be, with absolutely no risk and no financial commitment. It's just a conversation. You can give them a call or stop by their office there in North Palm Beach. And just as a quick reminder, their main focus is on real estate, personal injury, and estate planning. So we kind of end up right back where we started, thinking about you. Because beyond all the legal talk and the case results, the real thing to take away is the value of having a truly dedicated partner in your corner. And the final question is a simple one. What could that kind of support really do for your peace of mind?